Okay, so welcome everybody to the Actors Anonymous podcast. This is the inaugural episode, and although this is not a podcast where I'm speaking to a guest, this is just a brief introduction on the channel and what it's about. And I'd like to talk about a few things, including the recent passing of DMX. So, first of all, why Actors Anonymous? I'm sure you've all heard of the term being bit by the acting bug, and you really can take that literally, where it really is a disease. You hear about the success stories because that's what you want to hear about. You don't want to hear about failures and struggles, but that's probably a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about. The failures, the struggles, the hardships, the things that most actors don't talk about. So briefly about me, my name is Billy Choi. I've been an actor for about 10 years now. Originally from New York, I moved to LA in 2010, and I've been pursuing this acting thing since then. And it's been a long road. It hasn't been easy. A lot of pitfalls, a lot of struggles, a lot of frustration, and a lot of things that you don't hear about. So again, that's what I'd like to talk to you about, to enlighten you about it if you're interested. And also for my own therapy, for my own sanity. I like to get it off my chest. So honestly, that's a big reason for why I'm starting this podcast. And I'd also like to introduce you to other actors who might not necessarily be so-called A-list or even people that you recognize, but all working actors who have film credits and television credits, and let them tell you about their struggles and about the pitfalls that they've endured and things that they go through and went through in their pursuit of their dream career in acting. So again, back to the name Actors Anonymous. If you talk to a lot of actors, they'll tell you it's not so much of a choice wanting to be an actor, but more so it's almost like you don't have a choice. You feel like this is your path, this is your destiny, for lack of a better word. So you're going to see it through. You're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to take the rejection. You're going to take the odds that are highly stacked against you. As a matter of fact, I'd compare it to the lottery. You know, as far as being an actor who's world famous, the odds of that happening are probably similar to that of winning the Mega Millions or the lottery. 1 in a million, 1 in 10 million, who knows? But somewhere along those lines, it's highly improbable and highly unlikely. That's why any actor, when starting out, you tell your parents or your friends or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever it may be, hey, I'm gonna be an actor. What's the first reaction that you get? You sure? Okay, but don't quit your day job. Does that mean that they're bad or they're dream killers? Maybe, maybe not. It means that they're looking out for you in their own way, even though they may not be looking out for you in reality, because they're taking energy out of your dream, taking steam out of your engine, so to speak. But in their minds, they're being realistic, and they don't believe you. They don't believe that it's going to happen for you. They have an idea of what the odds are like, and they know it's similar to winning the lottery. So they say, don't quit your day job. So I'm sure 99.9% of actors, musicians, artists, people in the pursuit of the arts have heard the same thing. And that's the first obstacle. And this is on top of your own self-doubt, your own struggles, your own pursuit of energy, because you need energy to start it and to see it through. And sometimes starting is the hardest part. A lot of people don't even start. So that's why you have to give some respect to people who are trying. And that's why people who have made it get that much more respect, because you know that more than likely they went through a great deal of struggle to get to where they are. So people give them respect for that. So again, Actors Anonymous, this is not a choice, at least for the actors that I know. This is a way of life. This is a burden. This is something that has to be done. There's something inside of us that need to tell a story, and we do that through different mediums: music, art, acting. So yes, I've been bitten by the bug, and now I have the virus, and there's no cure. So that's what I'm doing here. That's why I need help. I need therapy. And I'm going to talk to you about that, and you're going to be my therapist. You're going to hear all the shit that I've been through and go through for this pursuit. And I can tell you it's not cheap. Meaning, it's not because I want to walk the red carpet and I want people to pat me on my back and you know, whatever reasons that people have, you know, it's not cheap. There's depth behind it. I do want to touch people. I do want to inspire people. I do want to give people that feeling of that melting heart when they see me perform, similar to what I felt from watching my heroes on screen. Sylvester Stallone, when I was a kid I watched Rocky, and it just gave me the biggest boost of inspiration. And others, Al Pacino and whoever, you know, I could go on and on and on, but you know that feeling when you get inspired and makes you want to cry when you watch something, whether it be a drama or action or whatever, a comedy. You know, I want to give that same feeling to people that I've received, because deep down inside I do love people. But during the pursuit and everyday life and taking care of responsibilities and my own insecurities and on and on and on and on, this develops layers and covers up your heart. It makes you get a hardened heart, and sometimes you forget why you're doing it. And then that's when you get into the, oh, I need to call my agent, what's going on, how come I'm not getting X amount of auditions, or this television show only is giving me 5 lines and instead of the other guy who's getting 10, 20 lines. We're all human beings, but that's what happens in everyday life, and the so-called pursuit can make you callous and jaded. So that's another reason why I'm doing this podcast, to remind myself why I'm doing this. And it all boils down to the heart. It all boils down to that love. It all boils down to me wanting to be of use and of service. So hopefully that makes sense. And so now I want to talk about the passing of DMX, a highly respected artist. Guy wears his heart on his sleeve, made beautiful music, and rest in peace, obviously. Condolences to his family. But I do want to touch on the topic of when celebrities die. Everybody wants to jump on the bandwagon, when previously you don't hear them make a peep about the person. They don't mention the person, and I'm sure over the past 10 years or so, they probably judged him. Oh, he's a crackhead. Oh, he's in jail again. He's this, he's that. He's overweight. He's washed up. Whatever they may have been thinking or not thinking. He probably wasn't even in their psyche, you know. But as soon as he passes away, then you get that wave of everybody making posts on Instagram or Facebook, posting a picture that they had with him with a long drawn out description. Oh, I miss the times when we did this and we did that, and you taught me this and you taught me that. And it sickens me, to be honest, and I don't buy into it, you know, because again, they didn't mention the person before that. and then all of a sudden they pass away, and all of a sudden you're their biggest fan and their best friend. And it happens with every celebrity death. Nipsey Hussle, same thing. You weren't his biggest fan when he was alive, but when he passed away, all of a sudden you're posting the 3 pictures that you have with him, and he's the next greatest thing since Tupac. You know, have some respect for the deceased. Be real, be truthful, be honest. You thought he was a washed up crackhead when he was here, and as soon as he dies, he was your best friend? You're full of shit. I don't buy it. Don't do that. That's disrespectful. And I wondered, why do people do that? And the answer is simple. It's the same answer for every question. It's ego. People don't want to be left out. The reason for this is because everyone's mortal. So that fear of mortality causes people to post things on Instagram, to say, here, I exist. Somebody passes away. Oh, they know the eyes of the world is watching. So that's the wave. So they try to hop on that wave. Oh, so-and-so passed away. Everybody's watching. Look at me. I'm here. I'm with this person. Look, hi. Remember me? I'm here. I exist. I'm not just here 1 second and gone the next second, which you really are. So you're scared of that. You're scared of mortality. You need to exist. And if you understand this, you'll understand most things about life. It's all about ego in that sense. The fear of mortality. I'm probably guilty of it as well. I'm a human being, right? I understand it, but it doesn't mean I'm immune to it. Possibly that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be an actor. Look at me. I exist. I hope not. But it's possible. You know, if DMX were here, he would call out those who are real and those who are fake, because he was real like that. And someone that down to earth and that honest, you should give them the respect. I'm not saying their name in vain just because they're not here anymore. But again, I understand it. I don't judge it. I'm not mad at it. It's a natural part of human existence. It's going to happen regardless of what I or anybody else says. And it's going to continue to happen. The next celebrity or big figure that passes away, it's going to be another wave, and people are going to jump on that wave. Post a picture, say it ain't so. I remember all the moments. I remember this moment. Look at me, here. I exist. DMX, Nipsey Hussle, whoever it is, it's going to be that same thing. And when you take away the celebrity deaths and things of that nature, even the existence of an Instagram, a Facebook, that's what that boils down to. It's, look at me, I exist. Look at me, I'm at the restaurant eating. Look at what I'm wearing. Look at my kids. Look at what I do. Look at my money. Look at my car. Look at my smile. Look at my tits. Look at my ass. Look at my muscles. Look at whatever it is. I exist. Dear God, please let me exist. Because I know I don't exist. I won't exist. I'm here 1 second and then I'm gone. And that terrifies me. The dark abyss. In our judgments, 100 years can be considered a long lifetime. It can be considered a long, long, long time. Especially considering that there's infant mortality. Sometimes babies pass away at birth. And then you ask the question, if there's a God, how could he allow a baby to pass away? What kind of a God allows that? Let me explain. To you, 3 hours of life seems like a blink of an eye compared to 100 years of a lifetime. But what's 3 hours compared to 100 years when you compare it to infinity? They're both drops in the bucket. They're both equally non-existent. Eternity is a long time. 900,000 years is a long time. 900,000 years compared to 100 years. If you live that long, 100 years. What's that compared to 900,000 years? It's nothing. Now what's 3 years compared to 900,000 years? Or 3 hours? It's equally nothing. We all barely exist. And our souls understand and know this. It's just that our heads run away from this. It doesn't want to grasp that fact, but our souls naturally understand this, and that conflict causes anxiety. And that's why people use drugs or are addicted to different things, or go mountain climbing, or cook obsessively, or become actors, or dive headfirst into their kids. It's all about their kids or their career or whatever medium it is. Everybody's running from that same fact. We're here 1 minute and then we're gone the next, and the fear of the unknown. Now you have to face 900,000 years. And how do you do that? So a warrior such as DMX, Tupac, and others, they're not perfect, they're not angels. It's not hero worship. They were very flawed people. I'm not going to bring up their flaws because they're not here, but you know their flaws. I heard Swiss Beats saying DMX didn't care about money, he was the most loyal person, etc., 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 etc. And I'm not going to disagree. I didn't know DMX personally. Swiss Beats did, but looking from the outside in, I've seen DMX with jewelry. I've seen DMX with diamonds. Swiss Beats said he didn't have any jewelry, he didn't wear diamonds. He did. He had a big ass diamond on his ear and he wore diamond chains along with his metal dog collar. I'm not judging him, I'm just saying Swiss Beats is wrong. He's lying. Because he's dramatizing the situation, because he's saying, here, I'm Swiss Beats, I exist. He said he's the most loyal person, and I'm sure to an extent he's right. He was loyal to his business partners, he was loyal to Swiss Beats, he was loyal to certain people in his life, but he also had a disloyal streak. He probably cheated on 90% of the women that he was with, including his wife and his ex-wife and his, other children's mothers. He couldn't be loyal to the women in his life, and I'm not judging him, but this is what I observed, because this is just factual things that I've seen. So he wasn't loyal 100%, as Swiss Beats was implying. And again, I'm not judging Swiss Beats, I'm just saying he's lying. He's dramatizing, he's hyping up, all in an effort to say, I exist. It's not about you, Swiss Beats, it's about DMX. Let the man rest in peace. You don't have to say anything. We've all seen how close you guys were. We know you're talented. And we for sure know how talented DMX was. He literally carried the torch after Tupac and took hip-hop and music to the next level. So that's what I wanted to touch upon. Every single time, it's a repeating cycle. Somebody dies, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, Whitney Houston, whoever, and then 2 days later you never hear from them again. Never hear about it again. It's on to the next thing. It's on to your cosmetic line. It's on to your next movie, your next project. You don't care. You care about yourself. Just be honest enough to know that. You could lie to everybody, but you can't lie to yourself. Even though you try, because your spirit knows it. It's just